Martin was not bothered by the fact that I had a 2-year-old son when I met and fell in love with him, or so I thought. My baby daddy left me when our son Ryan was just a few months old. Reason: his mother said he can't marry from my tribe. I struggled to raise our son as a single mother. I did all types of odd jobs with my son wrapped on my back just so I can feed myself and my son. One of these jobs was hawking on the streets, and that was where Martin and I met. He had become my frequent customer, always patronizing me. We became fond of each other, and he invited me for a cup of coffee one evening, to which I agreed. After a lengthy conversation and I opening up to him about my life, he asked if I would like to move to his house as a housekeeper. I thought about it, and at that time, it was an amazing offer because my son and I would have a better roof over our heads and a decent meal each day. Martin was this sweet soul. When we first moved into his apartment, he did not make me feel less of a person just because I was his housekeeper. After a few months of working for him, he started showing interest in me. I had strong feelings for him, but I tried so hard to suppress them, but not for so long. One sexual encounter led to another and another and another. Upon agreement, we decided to start a relationship. On several occasions, when his friends visited the house, he could introduce me as his housekeeper, then apologize profusely to me in private, with the excuse that he did not want his friends to misjudge me. Please don't judge me too harshly for this because, I already know that I was a fool who was in love, or I was just infatuated, or maybe, just maybe, I was afraid of losing a good roof over my head. After 10 months of being in this relationship, Martin's behavior towards me got worse. He would insult me at every little provocation, whether in private or in public. He stopped touching me or even eating my food, claiming that everything about me irritated him so much. He made me move out of his bedroom back to the guest room where I first stayed at when I moved to his house as a housekeeper. The once sweet and mindful Martin had changed completely to someone I could not even recognize at all. He called me all sorts of names, from useless, an imbecile, stupid, foolish, coward, moron, and many more belittling names. According to him, I was to blame for being a single mother since my baby daddy could not put up with my stupidity. Martin told me times without number that I should be grateful to him for coming to my rescue, without which my son and I could have died of hunger on the streets. He'd always say, just know that no man in his right senses will accept you as ugly as you are with your bastard son. I'm the best thing that ever happened to you in this life. If you ever lose me, then you'd have allowed yourself to lose a treasure. He said this so many times that I actually believed him. I knew he was right. His words made me feel very ugly, very vulnerable, and he made me feel insecure about my appearance, and I started second guessing myself. Most nights I cried myself to sleep, for I felt really worthless and my self esteem had really dwindled. He housed, he fed, and he clothed us, so I believed that he was actually a treasure that I did not want to lose. Leaving was not even an option because I still loved him. Besides, I had nowhere to go, and I had so many what ifs. Like, what if he finally became his former sweet self? What if this was just a phase that would pass? What if he's pushing me against the wall just to see how much I could take? What if he's right that no one can ever love me with my son? What if I'm the one who is wrong or maybe overreacting? How and where could I start from if I ever left this guy? No, that is not even an option for me, I thought to myself. I think I might have been suffering from Stockholm syndrome at this point. Martin and I lived like strangers in the house. He would sometimes bring in different women into the house and make me cook for them and clean after them. And then he would also make very mean comments about me in their presence while they just laughed contemptuously at me. The only time he was nice to me was when he wanted me to satisfy his sexual urges. He would even go as far as pampering me with gifts, and the morning after the copulation, he would literally scream at me to leave his room. After being in this emotionally abusive situationship for nearly 2.5 years, God sent me a savior that made me finally realize that I would survive on my own, just like I did before I met Martin. Mercy, a beautiful woman inside out, moved into the same apartment complex that we were in. On several occasions, she witnessed my dear Martin insult me and belittle me even in the presence of people. She started having some small talks with me, and we eventually became friends. One day, after I felt that I can trust her, amid tears I narrated my story to her. She consoled me and asked if I really wanted to continue being under the same roof with a man who had dragged my self esteem and self confidence through the mud. She talked to me and made me know that I'm worthy more than just sex and a roof over my head. For the first time, I gladly allowed the thought of leaving that comfortable house and moving back to a less comfortable environment where my son and I won't be emotionally and psychologically abused. With the very little that I had saved when I was working as Martin's housekeeper, I believed that I could start all over again. I had not used the money because Martin never allowed me to do any kind of business, as he believed that I would take off with another man. Now that I think of it, it is so damn ridiculous coming from a man who claimed that I was unlovable and, no man would ever love me. Anyway, with Mercy's discreet help, I moved out of his house into the outskirts of town. She also gave me some money which I added to what I had and used it to set up a small fast food business, which has had a tremendous growth. It has been 3 years of bliss and peace of mind. I'm doing well and I'm able to provide for my son. I have recovered my self esteem and I have learned to always love myself, put my happiness and mental well being before anybody else. Mercy is still one of the most amazing human beings in my life. I pray that God continues to bless her. Thank you so much guys for watching and listening to my stories. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more captivating tales. Do not forget to hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section below, and feel free to share this video with your friends and your family. Until next time, stay tuned for more captivating stories. Bye for now.